Aloha, my friend. This is Billy Wiggly coming at you live from the Ninth Island, Las Vegas, Nevada. So how's everybody doing so far? Can you hear me okay? Maybe I should crank this up just a little bit. Boom. There we go. Can you hear that? How about this? Angels. And angels are excited because today what we're going to talk about is a brand new function. Actually, it's been out for a little bit over a year. For a year, it was only available to Office insiders. Microsoft Office 365, which is now known as Microsoft 365. So stop saying Office 365. Let's just say Microsoft 365. And the XLOOKUP became available to Office Insider users back about a year and a half ago. And now it's available to those of us that are using Microsoft 365. And in the event that you're not in Microsoft 365 right now, look inside the description for this event or in the chat. I've put a link where you can download this workbook. And if for some reason you're not in Microsoft 365, just open it up inside Excel Online. So if you have a Microsoft.com account, just like Gmail, just like a Google account, Microsoft has the same thing. You know, have Google Sheets, Google Docs. Well, we got Word, Excel, PowerPoint that we can use for free online. It's better than Google. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm saying it because I'm a user of Google Docs. I've been using Google Docs forever. I don't know why. I just used Excel. And for my calculations, because I love Excel. But for writing, I didn't use Word. I didn't use for PowerPoint. I didn't use presentation. I didn't use PowerPoint. I just used Excel. And then I decided to get Microsoft 365 Business Standard Edition for my company. And wow, where have I been? I just been in Excel world. There's so much more available to us in Microsoft. So go check out, open yourself up a Microsoft account and then go to your browser, excel.new, and copy this spreadsheet and paste it in there. Or if you can open this spreadsheet inside excel.new, go for it. And then you'll have the latest functions available to you. So here we have it. What I have right here is I'm just going to look up an employee ID number. Let's check it out. Boom. There we have it. I'm going to look up an employee ID number, 4390, and I enter, and it's Chili Dog Wiggly. Cool. So you're saying, hey, what's the big deal? That looks like it's just a VLOOKUP. What are we looking up? So the formula would be here. What are we looking up? We're looking up this. Where are we looking it up? We're looking it up right over here. When we find the matching number, look immediately to the right and give me what's in column number 2. That's your VLOOKUP. What I have here is not a VLOOKUP. I have what's called an XLOOKUP. And what's pretty cool about the XLOOKUP is that, watch this, I'm going to open up this column right here, and I've only got one formula that looks up the employee name and the department. So if I click right inside this cell, there's no formula in there. The formula is right here. What's changed is that I'm looking up, instead of just one column, I'm looking up an entire array. And then the results are spilling over to this cell right here. Have you even heard about spill in Excel? It's pretty cool. It's spilling the results to the other cell. And whenever you see a little blue line like this appear, that means that there's a spill taking place inside these cells. All right, so let's do it. Let's go ahead and set it up and let me show you how. Woohoo! There we are. Here's my coffee. Cold brew coffee. Cold brewed for 14 hours so that I can be ready for you right here. So go ahead and go into your workbook that I created for you. XLOOKUP. It's a read-only workbook so that we don't, we can play in it all we want. We're not going to mess it up. Come back and practice in it. So here we go. So let's say I want to look up an employee name, and I'm going to use an XLOOKUP this time. So I can just go right ahead and start typing right in here, equals XLOOKUP. See, when I put in an X, it's showing me all the functions that began with an X. And remember, because we focus on the basics, how do we start writing a formula? That's right, equal sign. And that is saying, Excel, do this. We command Excel. We rule Excel. Excel doesn't rule us. We rule it. Remember, that's why it's called a command. We're giving them a command. And this is your introduction into programming, where you want to be a data scientist. You want to start using Python, R, and all of that. Well, you got to get good at the basics of Excel and then grow into it. Just ask some of my fellow data scientists over here, like David Langer. He's a good one. So we're going to go ahead here and command Excel, because we don't get mad, we get skills, to do a lookup for us. And we want to do an XLOOKUP. And here we have the XLOOKUP. Now I'm going to just tab right into it. And here I see my arguments. The lookup value, what am I looking up? The lookup array, where am I looking it up? The return array, where is the result for what I'm looking up? And then these are all optional arguments. Remember in the VLOOKUP, we only had true or false? Well, we got a few more. Now, let me go right ahead, and now that I've got the XLOOKUP activated, I'm going to click on the Insert Function button right there. Mac users, you know that as the formula builder. So I click on my function arguments, and here I see my function arguments. And this is an introduction to the XLOOKUP. I'm going to do a few more of these, and we're going to do different variations, different uses of the XLOOKUP, and we're going to apply a few more of the arguments that we see here. So the lookup value is just like in the VLOOKUP. What are we looking up? So we're looking up the employee ID number. Okay, the lookup array, where are we looking up that information? Well, it's in the employee ID column, right in there. And I just did a Control Shift arrow down to select that range. And then now here we have the return array. Okay, so let me scoot this over. And the return array, where the information is that's going to be returned, Control Shift, arrow down, and there it is. I've selected it. So I'm already seeing the result right here. So I know that what I'm doing is correct so far. Now let's talk about the if not found. Before in a VLOOKUP, if the result was not found, a match was not found, then you would get a NA, not available error. Hashtag NA, something that looked like this. See that? We used to get that. Okay. Well, if you didn't want to have an NA, like if you wanted a text to appear saying that ID was not found, well, then you'd have to nest the VLOOKUP inside of an if statement. So the if statement would be, if this VLOOKUP is true, do this. If this VLOOKUP is false, tell me ID not found. All right. So in the XLOOKUP, we can just write down right here in the formula what we want a result to be. ID not found. In the event that it doesn't find a match for what we're looking at. The match mode, this is where in the VLOOKUP, this was called the true or the false, whether you want an exact match or not. We're not going to go in there right now. It defaults to exact match anyways. In another video, in another tutorial, we're going to go into match mode and search mode a little bit more and explain those in more detail. So now I'm just going to press OK, boom, and then right there is my XLOOKUP. So I'm going to put in 1555. And there's Carlos Gonzalez, right on. But what about the department? If this was a VLOOKUP we were doing, we'd have to do a VLOOKUP right there that looks up what the department is based on the employee ID. So we'd have a VLOOKUP here and a VLOOKUP right here, two VLOOKUPs. Well, we don't have to do that with an XLOOKUP. We can just spill over. That's right, spill over. Watch this. I'm going to go back into my XLOOKUP, and you'll notice here's what we're looking up, here's where we're looking it up, and here's what we are returning, the return array. I'm just going to expand that array to cover the department without having to do another formula. Watch. I'm just going to go right into the return array, and everything's color coded for us. The return array is purple. We'll click right in here, and I'm going to redo the return array to include column C, or this section right here. So now you see that the return array is B5 through C14. Cool. That's all I changed, and I press enter, and now we got a spill. Watch. 4390. Boom. Chili Dog Wiggly's and corporate staff. How about Marco Polo? Marco Polo's corporate staff. 40. Oh, let's find somebody. A section corporate manager. Here we go. Shane Kim. 6254. So 6254. Boom. And I hope you're following along with the Excel workbook that I created for you. So there you have it. Just like that. And now watch this. When I click on any one of these results, when we look closely, you see that little blue line that appears? That means we have a spill going. So if I click inside this cell, there's a formula. Click inside that cell, nothing. It's just spilling over. So let me put an ID 1888. Enter. ID not found. Just like that. You like that? You want to keep on learning? Just go to don'tgetmadgetskills.com, my website. Don'tgetmadgetskills.com. And at don'tgetmadgetskills.com, once you're in don'tgetmadgetskills.com, go check out my live classes right over here. Live classes. Click on the drop down and go to workshops. And in the workshops, I've got an upcoming workshop right here on LinkedIn on how to write formulas and use functions in Excel. It's going to be on October 12th, so go ahead and check it out. Links are in the description. And then I've got another workshop coming up, my favorite 30 Excel power tips, and that's going to be broken up into 2 and 1 hour and 45-minute sessions. When you sign up for this event, you're going to get 2 unlimited access to 2 courses, shortcuts, tips, and tricks, and I think it's pivot table power tips. Let's click on here and learn more. So this event's coming up first, October 12th. I encourage you to go check it out. Click on the link, learn about this event that's coming up. This one is $47, and it's 2 days, and there's tons of learning going on here. Worksheets that you can follow along with. Click on any one of these topics to see what I'm teaching you in regards to that specific item. And here's a preview of a previous workshop that I've done. And these are the 2 courses that you get instant access to once you sign up. So you're hungry to learn and catapult your career to the next level. You don't want to wait till October 14th and 15th to start learning. Well, once you sign up, you can already start learning by taking these courses right here. And that's it, my friends. Just like that. And like I always say, don't get mad. Get skills. I love you, and I want you to keep on learning. Aloha.